Hello, Brappers, and welcome to It's Brap TV. I'm Jazz Mackenzie, and I also have a blog called It's Brap It's Life. Okay, well, today we're going to look at the subject of less than 100% health. I think I'm going to call it that. I don't want to speak about illness and all that kind of thing. But we'll go back to the beginning of COVID because that really is when I had my first serious experience of not being 100%. I actually caught it in 2021. But of course, many people went through the awful illness back in the beginning. And I must say, it still was pretty bad when I had it. So, those of us who suffered badly know what it's like not to know whether you might wake up in the morning or not. And that's a very sobering experience. Another sobering experience is for people that have got ongoing conditions and you don't know how you're ever going to be able to live with them. What I want to say about it in particular is a lot of it comes down to adaptation, attitude of mind. It's easy to get depressed and down when you're not well, especially because you haven't got control of yourself. And you have that fear that goes with being unable to be in control of yourself. The COVID was the second time in my life I've had circumstances that are outside my control. The first was when my job came to a sudden end after 22 years. That was scary. And then a year later to be in a position of not being physically able to work, that was scary. And it does, in a way, give you more empathy for people who are in those positions because you have a little bit more understanding. I was very blessed that I have come out of it. I was shocked to find that I still have the long COVID. I thought I'd come out of that too, and I haven't. But the thing that I've been doing to really help is meditations. There are a lot of healing meditations out there. I do like ones by the mindfulness movement, Sarah Raymond. I find those are very good. They're quite gentle meditations. She leads you in well, gets you in a kind of semi hypnotic state. And I actually went to sleep when she told me to go to sleep. That's very rare. I'm one of those people who just doesn't sleep. So I think that's an excellent one, but you can look them up online. Another person I know who teaches a whole lot about healing is Be Divine of Divine Miracles. I've followed her for many years and her teachings are excellent. She's a very down to earth person. Yes, she does talk about lots of things, about angels and I don't know, dragons, all sorts of things. But at the same time, I think whatever your beliefs are, there is a lot people can give you. I don't understand everything in this planet. I really don't. I've met people who think they're from different planets, all sorts of things. But what it's about is finding people that resonate with you. If their style of teaching resonates with you, regardless of the whole scope of their beliefs, I think it's very helpful because it gives you a focus. Life's always about a focus. If you want to get through a situation, you need a focus. That's really important because if you don't have a focus, your focus is going to be your illness. And if your illness is your key point, how are you going to come through it? What are you going to do to help you feel better if your whole focus is on not feeling well? It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, the COVID hit me again, the long COVID. I've not had COVID, I've only had that twice, but the long COVID hit me again about a month ago when I overexerted myself without paying too much attention to it. Then I found I couldn't actually get to work on time, or if I did manage it, I couldn't get through the whole day. And I struggled like that for 2 weeks. Week 3, I said, this is ridiculous. So I took a couple of days off. And from that point, I started getting my energy back. So for those of you who've got illnesses like this, the lesson here is all about going with the flow. Don't fight it. Don't fight your body. If I feel that way again, I'm not going to fight it and waste 2 weeks. I'll take the days off and just focus on the getting better aspects. As I've said, the meditation, the relaxation, all of that kind of thing. The other thing is that when we're not well, we're not functioning properly. I find that very hard too. I can be very negative when I'm feeling unwell. I notice mostly negative things instead of positive things. And that's another reason to start trying to turn everything around quickly. You don't want to get in that state of mind. It doesn't help. Eliminating things that do not help is really key to making progress in life. once you start feeling a bit better, then you can start using your energy in positive ways. And for me, being at home was quite good. I managed to get this video done. I didn't do the video, but I was able to work with DJ Phillips, who did do the video, because I was actually at home on the same days. And that was a complete coincidence, complete and utter coincidence, something that the universe planned to happen. And so I think we need to give thanks again. Every little thing that's good in the middle of bad and in the middle of good, we've got to give thanks for so that we can make progress and take ourselves forward. I think planning in longer term is important too. Give yourself time. If you're really not coping well, if you're down, anything like that, do not beat yourself up mentally for feeling that way. It's easy to do. Why am I feeling like this? I should be fine. There are times in your life you shouldn't be fine because you've got to experience everything life has to offer, and that includes depression. I can speak about that quite a bit. I've been through depression in my life, but this time I'm just dealing more with, as I said to you, more sort of ongoing illness and things like that. But of course, depression goes into that category. But it's very hard to tell somebody who's depressed how to lift themselves out of it. For me, as I've said, whatever place you're in, space you're in, you look for the positive and you do the things that calm your mind. Because when you can calm your mind, then you can take control of your thoughts. I think really that's the main message that comes out of this. I had to fight to get back to work. It was really hard. There's nothing easy about dealing with long term illness. You can read up about it, but don't spend too much time. I know someone who said they were in a group for their illness, and everyone in the group just kept on posting about how bad they were, how they couldn't do this and couldn't do that. Is that going to help you? If you're in a group where a lot of people are posting negative stuff, how will that help you? The only way it helps you is by letting you see that you're not alone, I think. But once you've established you're not alone, then it's good to try to move on to other ways to take yourself forwards. It can be quite simple things. It can be saying to yourself, wow, I actually managed to do X, Y, and Z today. I couldn't do them yesterday. Tomorrow, I might not have quite so much energy, but today I did really well. And on that point, do not push yourself. If you do X and you feel great, stop. If you can do X and Y tomorrow, great. It's just about having common sense and never pushing yourself too hard. And it can be very tempting to do that, especially if you've got families relying on you, or you've got colleagues at work that are relying on you. You just got to work with you. And sometimes we have to put ourselves first. And that can be difficult when you're used to, let's use the word sacrifice. I don't mean that in a heavy way, but we can sacrifice parts of ourselves for others. Okay, I think those are the main things that I wanted to say today. Take your time, get better, go with the flow. Try meditations if that's your thing. If it's not, just put on some relaxing music or anything else that helps you feel good. Read your books if that makes you feel good. Be positive, be thankful, and just work with your doctors if you need to, whatever. Work gently towards improvement. All right, thank you very much for listening. Please subscribe, like, share, all the usuals, and have a fantastic day. Bye for now.